Wow, that game was amazing. Secret of the Mimic is easily one of my favorite, if not my favorite FNAF game, like, ever. I suppose I should probably make a video talking about the lore and whatnot now. I am a FNAF YouTuber after all, so let's see what people are saying. Well, I guess I should have figured that. If that's the case, I shouldn't even bother. Everyone already knows the secret of the Mimic. So what else could I do for this upcoming video? Wait, I think I just came up with a really good idea. That's right, it's time to explore none other than Murray's Costume Manor. I've done Security Breach, I've partly done the classic 6 games, and now I'm doing the amazing location that is the MCM. This place is filled to the brim with little details, and is one of, if not my favorite setting for any FNAF game we've seen, even beating out the Pizzaplex. What makes this location so special to me? Let's dive into it. Real quick, be sure to like the video if you enjoy, and subscribe for more FNAF content. With that, let's start from the beginning. After the intro cutscene, Arnold exits his van, and what he sees is nothing short of ominous. The building looms over the environment and tells you all you need to know. The Costume Manor has seen better days, but now it's old, rotting, falling apart. In the distance, atop a massive hill, an actual manor watches over you. This starting area sets the tone for the entire game. The dark and gloomy skies, the rundown factory in front of us, the massive scale of the whole thing tells Arnold exactly what is about to happen. Despite this, he begins his venture in search of something currently unknown to him. He enters an abandoned play area, which was once bustling with life. Children playing, parents watching, lifetime memories being made. All that is now gone, just left to rot forever. Again, this does an amazing job at setting the tone of the entire game. A warm, somewhat threatening, somewhat welcoming glow emits from the side entrance of the building, and now left with no other choice, Arnold enters. Proceeding through the doors, we're presented with a surprisingly cozy welcome lobby. Even here though, you can notice a few signs of neglect. Whatever this thing might be covered up, hiding something that you're not meant to see, as well as an empty pizza box. While a fairly neat lobby, these two details remind us of the state of the building otherwise, abandoned and forgotten. Arnold then enters the main welcome lobby, and what he sees next is nothing short of magical. The spotlights draw attention to Mr. Helpful before all the lights in the room flick on, revealing a colorful cast of characters. This welcome show is charming, introducing you to what the MCM facility was originally, a fun-filled factory of sorts, an experience for all who showed up. Before you get too caught up in this bright fantasy, the show short circuits and you're pulled right back into the reality of the situation. The contrast between the bright light show with the characters full of life to the horror of dim red emergency lights is fantastic, and once again sets the mood going forward. It turns this friendly looking cast of characters into a streak of hungry tigers, with you surrounded by them. Entering a maintenance door brings us to another scary area. This is a storage room filled with, for now, lifeless mascot suits. The faint red and orange lights above make them truly look like monsters hiding in the dark. Moving through the messy and cramped space is unsettling. A light draws us into the area's security office. This small office is the first familiar environment of this game. The checkered pattern on the walls, the monitors above the desk, the door now locked behind you, it all brings you back to a typical FNAF security office. After some backtracking, we end up in the power room for this area of the building, which gives us the first hints as to what might have happened before you arrived. In this mascot suit, we find the body of what appears to be a former Fazbear employee, sent to recover the same thing that you're now going after. A chilling detail, but one that builds immensely on the situation at hand. Despite not seeing any real threats yet, the buildup from all the spooky environments is working amazingly to build tension and suspense. You may also notice a certain elephant missing from its original position. That can't be good. We all know what happens next. This moment, where you encounter your first actual threat, is made significantly more intense by all the tension that has been built up around it. If the environments and details before this were not scary, this jump scare wouldn't have nearly as big of an impact as it does. The absolute panic that you're thrown into, running through the other questionably lifeless mascots, is something that FNAF games just have not been able to do with this much success in a long time. There's real horror here, and it makes you really not want to end up like that other member of the recovery crew that you found. After taking an elevator, we arrive in another rundown area of the factory. Shelves placed haphazardly, the walls falling apart, another place left to rot and decay. Going through a hole in the wall, you enter a dark room, mascots looming in front of you. It gives you the feeling that something bad is about to happen. Then, a single light flicks on, above an ominous music box. Once again, there's some incredible tension building and atmosphere going on here. You wind the box and that one was far more expected than the last, but the environmental buildup to the moment still makes it a standout scare, especially on a first playthrough. Arnold then proceeds through another door, faced with another scene showing the neglect the complex has gone through. The pile of shredded paper behind the digityper, the general dismay of the room. At least he's not deadly, I suppose. You then power on a generator, starting a chase with Jackie. She breaks a hole in the wall, sending you into the depths of what you thought was a fairly small building. This chase area is fantastic. The cramped feeling of the old brick walls, ample spots for Jackie to be lurking, and the dark, ominous lighting all lead to a thrilling and scary encounter with the clown. Steelwool really outdid themselves with all the amazing environments present within Secret of the Mimic. The tunnels are perfectly designed to have you panicking every second of the chase. The old walkways shaking as she chases you, the area rapidly changing as the chase goes on, the general horror of trying to run from a monster in the dark when you don't even know where you're running to. Through vents and grates, I could go on and on about just how impactful and important the setting of this chase is in making it so terrifying. Eventually, we do end up back at the office, tasked with heading to a new area now. Entering the main lobby, it feels grand, more put together than any area we've explored so far. Edwin had a vision, a dream, and this room shows that part of him. While still very eerie with all the mascots standing around, threatening to come alive at any moment, they make sense being here. After all, they're products made to be sold, so shoving them in everybody's faces makes a lot of sense for Murray to have been doing. This room brings more life and realness to the location, something this game is doing a wonderful job at thus far. If you look closer though, this room is also being used to hint at tragedies past. You see portraits lined on the wall, one of Edwin and one of his wife, Fiona. In between, a portrait is missing. Small details like this are what I really love about these games, and why I enjoy making these videos on FNAF locations so much in the first place. Still, even this room shows signs of abandonment. Lots of stuff is covered up, hiding from view. There's a set of stairs blocked by some junk. Clearly, as grand as it once was, this room too has fallen victim to decay. After repairing an elevator and taking it up to the second floor, we arrive at the showroom lobby. This long hall leading to it must have felt so magical to walk through during its prime. Imagine walking down here after seeing the welcome show and the previous room with that cast of very colorful characters. This place had to have been popular before everything went downhill. For the player, the hall emits a more menacing feeling. The posters torn off the wall, tarps and boxes spread about in no meaningful way. It shows that even the MCM's most put together areas have had their magic taken away by time. Again, I can't help but imagine what this place looked like before it was left to rot. It feels exactly like what I would think somewhere like this would feel for the time frame. The colors, the arches above the walkway, the subtle floor lighting, the patterns chasing along the walls, it all fits very nicely into the game's time frame. I know I keep saying this, but this place feels very real, more than most locations we've seen in FNAF up to this point. We then proceed to enter the Big Top showroom, which feels far more fun and inviting than a lot of other areas we've ventured through thus far. It's fully lit up and almost fully in working order too. It really feels like what I imagine a circus was like in the 70s. It's very bright and colorful and really has no indication of danger. I mean, ignoring the giant animatronic in the middle of the room. That's why a ton of people are pretty surprised by the sudden change after beating your first minigame. Remember too that this small area is just made to be a demo. Murray was, after all, trying to sell all this stuff to potential buyers. I think this room does a really damn good job at showing just how cool having a big top animatronic could make a circus look. Another beautiful environment in this game that is just full of them. Heading upstairs immediately brings you back to reality though. The room goes dark and the atmosphere completely changes. Nothing but some broken glass is left behind by Big Top's sudden jump through the roof. This room is out of nowhere, super ominous and creepy. The mannequins all standing in a circle for seemingly no reason add to this. This sequence is a stunning example of how Steelwool has used the environments of this game to really set the mood and add a lot of tension. Next, we actually come to one of the calmest areas of the MCM, the rooftop. This feels like a spot you're supposed to just rest at. I mean, Arnold has been through a ton already. He's almost died plenty of times. So a nice little spot to rest with some light snow is welcome. A lot of people probably never think of it that way, but that's exactly what it is. It's open, peaceful, almost soothing. You're given a moment to reflect as the snow falls gently on the rooftop. It is just a small moment though, as immediately following the rooftop, you have a chase sequence. The chases in this game are by far the strongest moments, and you can't have a good chase without a good environment to go with it. And boy did Steelwool deliver with this one. The cramped office halls create a thrilling chase, and make it the perfect space for Big Top's mechanic. Every second of this thing is a panic, and with the path being randomized every time, you will eventually get to see all this area has to offer. It's a fun and fair chase, largely because of the amazing environment they made specifically for it. Literally, you can never come back here. This is just made for this chase, and they put so much effort into it. Same thing with the crouching part of the chase. Same concept, but it feels more threatening. Overall, this area is just kind of amazing, and I could kind of go on forever about it. Eventually, though, we do have to move on, and our journey brings us to the workshop. I don't even know where to start here. This could very well be my favorite environment to play in this entire game. The gameplay of the mimics switching suits here works perfectly. The workshop is messy, costumes finished and unfinished scattered about. Many of these are hanging from the ceiling, leading to a very creepy place. This feels like a genuine workshop. There's random tools thrown around the place, a lot of projects that were being worked on, and many costumes in many different stages of completion. I absolutely love the way this environment plays with the game mechanics too. It's fun to trigger a noisemaker on the second floor and then run down a staircase to dodge the mimic. The many paths up and down lead to a super fun place to play around in. It's scary too because the mimic is given a ton of ways to find you. It feels like a little maze, but like an actual fun maze instead of a boring maze, which is most mazes. The lighting here is also incredibly effective. It's not too dark, just dark enough to make it feel eerie. The windows shining through certain rooms also add to the ambience. There's so many little details here that I just love, and this again is one of my favorite environments, if not my favorite, in the entire game. To end off today's video, we will be talking about the theater. While probably one of my least favorite areas gameplay wise, I actually greatly enjoy the environment they've built here, even with the weird 2D fake out views of the floors above and below. The stage itself is kinda whatever. I mean, it makes sense to be here as a demonstration thing and doesn't take away from the location at all. It's just not really my thing. The ruin and decay around it though is something I really like. This area is one of the more destroyed places in the factory, and it's definitely unsettling. I don't want to talk about the lore too much, but the detail of the big moon falling through the floor is one that I think has a lot of symbolism when you look at the moon.exe game. This place is just creepy, and while there's literally no threat here, it still manages to feel threatening. It's also fairly dark in certain spots, which adds to this threatening feeling. Unfortunately, that's all I have time for in today's video, but that doesn't mean that I'm done exploring the charming and truly scary location that is Murray's Costume Manor. In part 2, which I plan to have out sometime in July, we will pick up after Arnold almost gets springlocked in the doll hospital and going through the rest of the MCM, including all the secret areas that you don't encounter through just playing the main story of the game. This is easily my favorite FNAF location, and that later half of the game has stuff even better than what was in this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like the video and subscribe for future FNAF content. As always, thank you all for all the support lately, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, superstars.